Hi, so today I'm going to be experimenting drawing over CG models. Hi, my name is Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist in the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So today I'm going to be going into Design Doll. I'm going to just grab a generic model that I've already made. I'm going to add a face on it, and then I'm going to pose it, and I'm going to take and export the image and trace over the CG model to draw a person, a figure. I so That's what you're going to see. Just to let you know, I'm kind of unhappy with the results. Part of it is just my general drawing skills, and part of it is just the process. I just didn't. I'm not sure if I even liked what was happening. I found some hiccups, and I'm going to talk about it in this video. So let's get to it. All right, so this is Design Doll. This is the CG program that's specially made just to pose. You can do all kinds of stuff with this CG model. And I kind of built the proportions as best as I could in this. And they added this feature where you could actually draw on the model. So I thought that it was very handy, and so I decided I was going to draw a face so that it would help when I posed it. Now, one of the things that I don't like about this model, and I'm trying to adjust it here, is that some of the proportions aren't quite right. I wanted the neck to be a little thinner, and I wanted the chest specifically. Her breasts, I wanted them to be lower on her torso, and I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, but breasts don't go up that high. Like, they're not like that. They're not one to one with the pecs. They're a little bit lower than the pecs, and it's just really bugged me because it meant that I would have to fix it later. So here I am trying to pose the thing, the pose, trying to pose the CG model, and it was more difficult than I liked. As I went, I started getting better at it. I started getting used to it, but it took a while. And I wanted this pose to be kind of flying. I decided I was going to draw a character called Fire from DC Comics, specifically the DC Legends video game that's on the iPhone, which I've been playing for years. I'm talking like 10, 20 years almost. Like, I don't know how old the game is, but I play it like every day. And they introduced Fire and Ice, and I was like, that's cool. I'm going to just take that, and I'm going to draw. I'm going to take some screenshots of the model in the CG, and then so here I am taking a photo. I took out the background, and there's the model on the left there. I started using some tricks that Clip Studio has of kind of making linear art, which is it's kind of interesting. But ultimately, I decided to not use any of it, and just trace it myself. And see, you could see that I'm messing with the drawing with the chest already. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. So that's a fail already. Another thing that I discovered as I was drawing is that the body type that I was working off of wasn't the body type I wanted. So I ended up not sticking to it, and started adding my own proportions and my own anatomy based on what I know about anatomy and drawing. So it is a CG model. It has no muscles at all. So that means that, in spite of the fact that it was, I'm just tracing the thing. I still needed to know anatomy and muscles, and like I said, I steered away from the CG model the way it was, so it doesn't look doll-like anymore. It looks organic. There are other CG models that I've used before that have muscles, and they're much better. So here I'm just trying to finesse and work the body, and now I'm putting on the costume of the character. And again, like, I ended up changing the hand from the CG model, and now it's all I'm no longer using the CG model, but it sped up kind of this process a little bit. But again, the biggest problem that I had was the model itself. The proportions on it were wrong. It didn't have what I wanted. I still needed to do a ton of work on my own, and I still had to struggle with solving some of these drawing problems that I was hoping I didn't have to, because I was basically tracing a model. It didn't work. It didn't work out the way I wanted to, and it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth the whole time. So now I'm inking, and I have no love. I have no love for this drawing anymore. I already feel like the experiment has already failed, because it didn't do what I wanted it to do, and I was planning to take this to color, and as I was inking, I'm like, oh, this is so tedious. I don't like doing this. This is so boring. I actually like inking on paper, but inking in the computer is really boring, and I don't like it. But I like doing it in traditional art. So, but I did start inking this, and yeah, I was pretty much done. I'm like, I'm gonna ink it, and I don't know if I'm gonna color it. And so even at the end of this video, I'm still deciding whether or not I'm gonna come back and do any more. I may go in and color it, I may not. But this is what I ended up doing. I ended up having to do the entire idea behind having a CG model to trace over was to make this less work. But it wasn't less work. I still needed to know what the heck I was doing. I couldn't just phone it in. I still I just want something to help me be more lazy, and I didn't get it. I didn't get I couldn't find a way to make myself even lazier at drawing. I still have to draw. It's still a lot of work. So that's this is the drawing. I may have to go back in and redo it, or retool it, or readjust it until it looks like something I want, because at this point right now, it's not what I want. It doesn't look exactly, it doesn't get me excited to keep moving. So next time I'm going to try to use maybe a different CG model, and then I'll record myself doing that, and then see what happens, if it's any better or not. But that's it from me, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.